Ashley's head exploded when she found out that Donald was married. She will no longer have a dream that she will be, in his kitchen,
Able to post up in his spot.
yeah, doing her thing. I
Mm-mm.
guess that dream died immediately.
That one came to a screeching halt.
And Vern showed us that if there's a player in the room,
Mm,
she's going to select him.
mm.
That tells us where she is because after we've seen all the tea and the air and the bits and pieces, her mind is still not right.
Welcome to Click Alert. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Ready to Love, Married at First Sight, season number 1, episode number 7.
And before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please send us your comments.
Mm-hmm.
Please hit that like button. And we appreciate and thank you for your support. And we thank you for the well wishes. Clearly, I feel much better. So here we go.
This episode began by guess who made finally made a cameo?
Who?
Cameron at Zadia's party.
To get the high value man, brother is going to be working. He's going to be working when he's supposed to be with you. He is going to be working. He
Yeah,
may
and
not have the time to be there when special things are happening.
he gave her a heads up from the very beginning.
Exactly.
He definitely said that he was going to be late and that he had to, work a few hours at the pharmacy. Is it that he
Yes.
works at?
He said he got a additional hours, so
Hours, right, right. So he got to put the time in,
he got to put the time in.
right.
So that's one thing about wanting a man who's working.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he's on the grind
Mm-hmm.
and
He got to handle his business.
he got to handle his business.
He finally showed up, and he came bearing gifts.
Yes.
Okay, so he knew he was probably going to hear some static, if he didn't come in, if he came in there empty-handed. So he did the right move.
Yeah, but I think Zadia still have that beast in her, and that beast is gonna come out when he least expects.
She was ready to go in on his ass, boy. Meanwhile, um, Mizelle, who was posting up with Sharice, uh, started to operate on a slide tip and kind of try to holler at your girl Vern.
And I was surprised how Vern moved in that situation.
No question about it.
Because in this situation, there's a sort of level of grown woman behavior that you got to exhibit.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
that you would think would be expected amongst them and in the
exactly.
house trying to all get to the same destination. Yeah.
While they said that, other women could date other men, yada, yada, but it's a way that you move.
Hmm.
And if the man who's supposed to be checking for Charisse
Hmm.
comes to you and he wants your number,
Hmm.
I will say, brother, really don't want you to have my number. We gotta hear what Sister Charisse gotta do, and if she has any thoughts and prayers about you having my number.
Hmm.
Let's do that. In fact, let's do that now. Let's walk over to Miss Charisse and see
See what time it
what
is.
time it is,
Uh-huh. Yeah, 'cause
how we could, explore this. Because personally, I think you're being disrespectful right now.
right, because he was definitely in Mac mode.
But he was staring at her TNA.
Yeah, no question about that.
Does she understand that if the first response she gets is towards her body, and clearly she can't hide her body, she can't put it in a box, but she could use a stylist to use more upgraded clothing
Hmm.
to bring the sexy doesn't show up as being tacky.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's a way to do that.
Hmm.
But she clearly hasn't gotten that memo yet.
Right.
If you're gonna shop at Five and Dime, I don't know what to tell you.
Mm, you ain't go there to the five and dime store for a wardrobe selection, did you?
Do you not see what the woman have on week after week after week?
Yeah, everything's always out, ain't it?
Everything is spandex.
Mm-mm.
Everything is tight.
Mm. Mm.
At one point, you question if she got any underwear on. and she got too much groceries and too much bits and pieces to leave everything out there. That's you're pushing yourself into a different kind of lady, if you know what I'm saying. And I hope she understands that's what she's doing.
Yeah, well, these ladies, after the party concluded the next or that evening, the next morning, they got up and they talked about it, didn't they?
Yeah, Vern, that ego came out. How what's Mizelle asked for a number and she gave it to him. Don't know if Sharice is gonna have a problem with it, but she cool with that. You know, he hitting on her as if that's a gift.
And to her credit, Charisse took the high road.
She handled
She,
herself.
yeah, she took the mature road. She didn't come all out of her face
Guns and
with the blow dart,
Michael
and,
some life.
and
She did.
she slowly go to sleep, huh?
Yeah, she didn't do that.
Okay, all right.
But once they told Tamika
Mm-hmm.
about this entanglement situation,
Yeah, because she did stop through in the morning to talk to all the ladies about how the prior evening's festivities went, the birthday party.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Hmm.
she found out what Mizell was doing, and Vern was glad to tell everyone that he texted her and he asked her for a date.
I'm in agreement with you. She should have pulled Mazel to the side and said, "Hey, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna holler at my girl Sharice to find out whether or not she knows what's happening, what you're doing right about now, because I'm about to put your game on blast. Because that's my housemate. I'm not trying to do something dolo behind her back or nothing like that. I'm in her corner. I'm wishing her well, and I want what's best for her. And if she kind of feels like that's you, then she needs to understand how you moving.
And I'm a classy sister. So anything I do gonna have a level of class with it. And I don't accept dates from men who are potentially seeing someone else.
Trying to holler at somebody else.
That's not what I do. I'm talking about a woman who knows her worth. She's not gonna be doing that.
No,
That's not
I
how
would think that
she gonna be
I
rolling.
would think that she would choose to roll a different way.
Exactly.
That's what I.
Those are women that's in the friendship circles. Those are women that you could bring around your husbands and your man and what have you, because they have some level of integrity.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't think that she passed that test very well. You know.
It's a fail. Now there's a mixer. They invite all the guys
Mm-hmm.
so they can know who to kick loose and who
Mm-hmm.
to keep.
Right. Mm.
Zadia, of course, chooses to keep Cameron. She
Mm-hmm.
is not gonna let him go because it seemed like she is developing a
She catching feelings,
well, something like that.
something like that. I would say. Ashley got a chance to talk about how Dawn passed her test, by showing up
By
and
showing up, but she
yeah,
was upset that
Kirsten.
Kristen did not show up and he did not call.
Yeah,
I,
he did a raggedy move. I mean, the bottom line is if he knew or had some idea that he wasn't going to be able to make it, all he had to do was.
this dude is tired of this girl and he wants a way out.
But you don't have to do it in a disrespectful way.
I understand that. But did Kirsten really look like he was really into
All
Ashley?
in, all in.
Right, right.
Maybe not necessarily, but at the same time, that still doesn't excuse, what's appropriate behavior on his part. She extended the invitation to him. Okay,
Yeah.
the least he could do is say, "Hey, look, okay, I'm running a little late," or give her a heads up. I'm not going to be able to make it. I apologize. I'll try to make it up to you at some point in time. But he didn't say nothing. He didn't say a damn thing.
I'm just saying I understand and I agree exactly with what you're saying.
Yeah, that makes him look. I
But
mean,
I've never thought that Kristen was into Ashley
he
in any kind
even
of
if he
way.
wasn't, it didn't excuse his behavior in that instance.
You're absolutely right about
I
that.
mean, he came across as raggedy.
So when he showed up, he apologized to her, and of course she kicked him to the curb because she thought that how he was treating her was foul, and that was good.
Yeah, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
Cherise met with Mizelle. Tamika came over and they hemmed him in, and he
They,
started
they tag teamed on his ass, didn't they? They tag
and
teamed on
he
him.
started saying, "Well, what would happen was."
He started stuttering like he had a speech impediment, didn't he?
And then when he started,
All kinds of simple. But okay, but let's do a little bit of delving into this, shall we? First of all, he said, yeah, he was like up, but he was stuttering and all that kind of stuff about when he got the digits. He tried to say he tried to say
yeah,
yeah, he tried to say he didn't call her.
he
He
did
texted.
call her,
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna not be able to see through all that foolishness.
and he doesn't even understand that. Oh,
They had
okay.
already said his
They
ass
already,
that.
they already.
They had already had a conversation.
Vern indicated that he was texting her all night.
Right, exactly. That means more than one.
Tamika told him that
It's a respect thing and how you move with Sharice when you pretend like you talking to Sharice, but you're still on the dolo. You checking for Vern.
he looked like he was embarrassed, and he thought he could talk his way through the situation. But of course, he dealing with Charisse, and Charisse cut him to the quick, showed him to the door.
Deuces.
So he was done. We find out that Tamika calls Donald and asks him to come through. So Donald shows up to sort of appease Ashley. Ashley asked him what does he want from her, and he said that he wanted a friendship
Right, and that
situation.
would definitely lead to a serious relationship. That's what he
Right,
said.
correct.
Right, and I guess that's the right answer, the
Right.
right response.
So the following day, the ladies had dates. Vern and Ashley dated Trey and
Mike.
Mike,
Mm-hmm.
and they met up at a dance studio to do
Yeah, Zydeco.
Zydeco dancing. They
Mhm.
seemed like everyone was having fun. Mike
Mike.
revealed that he's ex-military,
Mm-hmm.
and
He had, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Trey said that he does other things, but he also is a
A
training.
physical trainer, right?
Yes,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but I don't think the ladies were too impressed with both men.
Especially Vern, because Vern, if I'm not mistaken, asked how old the gentlemen, the guys were, right?
Well, Mike was 31 or 32, and she thought that he was way too young
Right,
for
and Trey
her.
was 36.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then we see
Zadie and Sharice
Zadia and
on double
Sharice
dates, right?
on double dates,
Mm-hmm.
and they encountered.
Will and Brandon.
They were doing pottery. They
Mm-hmm.
met up at a pottery spot,
Mm-hmm.
and they both seemed to be having fun with their dates.
Right, but Zadia was a little uncomfortable with her date because Sharice chose Will, but so Brandon went off with Zadia,
Mhm.
and during their pottery making experience, Zadia kind of took to her confessional to say that, hey, look, I'm kind of feeling a certain kind of way, uncomfortable right now because I'm making phallic symbols with a guy that I just met.
Yeah, not only that too, the dude is also a workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility that he too will be working
Mm-hmm.
while when she wants some attention.
Right. See, and he's on the grind. He's on his grind. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Is
Right.
there?
But of course not. And she reads her date with Will.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to like his conversation. He works for a nonprofit, and he
That
has a
focuses on the well-being of kids,
and
young.
he has a 6-year-old child. And
Right.
she said she liked how he spoke to her, and she didn't have to carry the conversation.
Right, because
He
he was
knows how
more than
to.
willing to engage her and carry the conversation, and she kind of felt, okay, this is a change from from the other guys that she's experienced so far.
Right. So then we see Ashley going to see Donald. He invites her in, they hug, she starts looking around. She tells him that she envisions him herself being in his kitchen. He prepared a meal, although he told her that he couldn't burn what he prepared for her to eat was acceptable. So they sat down,
Hmm.
and he pulled out these cards
Like a little
about
questions game.
relationships.
Yeah,
And one thing he said to her is that he has never been in a healthy relationship.
yeah,
And
that would have
every
been.
relationship he has had has been toxic.
Now that would have been. I would imagine after hearing that, she would have had gotten a deer in the headlights look right then and there.
Absolutely.
And I don't think she did she?
No, she didn't.
Right.
And maybe she was thinking that through. So to me, that's a big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said to him, "Well, tell me something about you that I
Mm-hmm.
did
No.
not know."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Well,
He dropped the bomb, didn't he?
um, didn't I tell you I was married?" And she looked at him and said, "What?" I said I was married. And she had a bottle of wine next to her and she opened it up and you could see she getting flustered and upset.
Yeah, she was shook. She was
It
shook.
seemed like her head exploded and she tried to keep all the brain matter back in the hole, put it back in the hole any way she could. And
Wig definitely got split, didn't
it
it? With
did.
that revelation.
It did. It
Yeah,
did.
and she was trying
Because
she
not
was
a
trying to
whole
keep it together.
not a whole lot upsets Ashley. If she's so exacting. If you slide away from what she knows and
She
brings
can
new
pivot.
information,
She can pivot.
she thinks that's a red flag. So, but the moment he said, "I didn't tell you I was married," he was capping
He dropped. Yeah,
because
he damn sure was capping.
she would have remembered that thing.
Yeah, he knew damn well he didn't tell her that. He
Yeah,
ain't dropped that nugget on her.
he did not drop.
All
But
kinds of capping, like you said.
this is why I asked, what information is Tamika telling these ladies about the dates that they're going out on? Does she give them a cheat sheet about age, where they live? Have they been married before? If not, if they're working? I would think a matchmaker will have that information to share it with the client. So I'm not understanding why she doesn't know that he is married
Or
because
had
they're
been married.
using a matchmaker.
Hmm.
So, what is Tamika's job? Secondly, and additionally, some of the men who have been coming through that house, is suspect.
Program's raggedy. Hmm.
I'm just saying. So is Tamika really vetting these dudes? Because that's one thing a matchmaker has to
She
do.
was boastful at the very beginning of the series about how she knew every single eligible bachelor
She could have a
in town.
I'm struggling to understand why Ashley did not know that Donald
Had been
had
previously
been
married.
previously married.
I don't know.
And meanwhile, the information just blew the idea up of her, posting up at his house and cooking, and it didn't look like it's gonna be a happy time for Ashley and Donald. I think they need to call the medic.
Donald knew that he hadn't
Yeah, he
he
should have
hadn't
did.
shared that bit of information, that critical bit of information.
Yeah.
It seemed like he may have had an opportunity to do it earlier, much earlier in their relationship, but maybe for whatever reason chose not to.
They filmed it or framed it, it seemed like, it was some secret he's keeping, but that's in his past as well. It's
Mm-mm.
not like a child.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Nope. Nope.
It's something that happened to him, and he does not to tell you about that in the first, second, or third date.
Yeah, I think he probably was like, "Damn, I just got back in the door and I done messed up again." You know what I'm saying?
I think information is revealed once the person gets comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he could tell Ashley's highly strung, and perhaps he didn't want to experience how it would land with her. So,
I don't see how he could avoid it, especially knowing that how she reacted just by not communicating in what 1 or 2 days, or something like that.
but then too, I think that it's something that Tamika should know and be able to give these women
A little bit of
information.
background.
I would be really salty if I'm paying money to a matchmaker and they're sending me uh, um, dudes that are completely not acceptable. I do respect her for how she and Cherise tag team Mizelle.
They worked him over real good, didn't
Yeah, Sean.
they? And player didn't even recognize
They worked.
they worked him over. tag teamed on his ass, boy.
Over
Yeah,
here.
Vern was within earshot of that, wasn't it? That full explanation.
And say, oh, he not gonna downgrade me, girl. He downgraded you the moment he asked you for your number and you give it to him.
Yeah, the digits.
But
She go.
anyway, that's all we have.
Mm,
Um, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing.
no,
I,
same.
I, 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 I just would like sisters to come clean and tell the truth about where they are and where they stand and where they hope to go. Because you can't say you want to check for a good man and all you present is the body yardie. The outfits the woman wearing does not tell a story to the man.
Right. It says like I might want to smash like you do. That's what I'm saying. So
And there's some women who have bits and pieces that clearly they cannot hide, but at least keep it sophisticated. And the way they're designing and making clothes to enhance and cover and what have you,
ain't nothing
and it's as
sophisticated about
and it's sexy. You don't have to do the tinfoil look, which is a young girl's
ain't
game.
nothing sophisticated about what Vern has been showcasing. That's for sure.
So have a good one. Thank you for the well wishes. So I appreciate and thank you for the love. Bye bye.
Bye.